Alright, welcome to the Challenger Racing Xfinity League. We've run one race off broadcast, and we're going to be broadcasting the second race for the night here at New Hampshire. The race we didn't broadcast was Texas. We had an 8-car field, and I ended up winning that race. Unfortunately, there was some lag involved. Me in first and second place were having a really good battle, and on the last lap on the backstretch, I surged a little bit on second place's screen. And it didn't really wreck him, but it cost him like a couple tenths, and from there it was just not much of a chance for him to recover. So that was unfortunate, but I did get the win. It was a good race, a lot of close racing. Kind of wish I had been broadcasting it up front. It was a very entertaining race. But they are qualifying at New Hampshire. Let's go ahead and hop on board with the 18 car, and he is going to show us the line you kind of want to follow. A little bit of contact with the 11 there. After he gets out of traffic, he'll show us the line that you want to follow here at New Hampshire. So yeah, at New Hampshire you want to enter high, dive it low, bring it back up the track. And then once you're on that exit, you want to get on the throttle as early and as hard as you can and get a run down the straightaway, and that's how you're going to make a lap at New Hampshire. Both corners are obviously fairly identical. So you're taking the same line in both corners. Turn 1, you can actually exit way low down on the apron and gain a couple tenths from it. Turns 3 and 4, you cannot do that. There is a line that marks the entrance to pit road, and if you touch that line, you get taken down the pits. So you don't want to enter on the or exit on the apron here in 3 and 4. That is why a lot of these guys are being very cautious, exiting about mid-corner. But let's move up and ride on board for a lap with the number 1 car of Cobalt. Our third place finisher at Texas had a fast car, definitely could have won it. Unfortunately, the lag just was not kind to him. Still feel bad about that. Cobalt taking a bit of a different line there. You can enter high and sort of diamond it out. It's not exactly the fastest line, but it is a consistent line, and at a track like this, consistency is king. So he could potentially make it work, as he does seem to be pulling away from second place Josh Larson. Shout out to Eagle here, running P3. Holding a pretty decent line, keeping up with the 18 and the 1. As the 18 appears to lag just a little bit. Further back in the field, we've got Ram, who had a very solid run going at Texas. Wasn't quite able to seal the deal, but he had a good run. He had some fast laps, qualified on pole at Texas. He's kind of been on fire tonight. And ahead of him, we have Duds, our second place finisher at Texas. Again, he's had a solid car all night. Ran very well at Texas. Very consistent, probably one of the more consistent cars on the track. I do like that number 3 Advil car, I will say. Falling away from the top 3, but there is Eagle holding his own, sticking with the top 3. This could be an upset podium finish for Eagle here, as it looks like the 18 is going to dive to the inside of the 1. Trying to get every tenth of a second out of the lap as he can. And I just heard over the radio that was his best lap. So he made the right decision, stepping out and just barely getting that quarter panel on the 1 car. Eagle now dropping back just a little bit as the 20 and the 1 battle it out. I believe qualifying is now over. And we're going to find out who got the pole award. I'm going to have to assume it was Josh Larson in that 18, but we will see. Could have been someone further back in the field that we weren't really looking at. You never know. At a track like this, the draft isn't quite as important, so anybody could have got the pole right there. But if I was a betting man, I'd say it was the 18 to Josh Larson. Dark horse pick for a good qualifying position would be that 19. He's a bit of a sleeper here at New Hampshire. It's one of the better tracks for him. And it's Cobalt with the pole. Josh Larson second. Eagle fourth. And Rowdy in third. Alright. Very interesting. So Cobalt on the pole. He's hungry for a win. He kind of feels like he got robbed of Texas due to the lag issues. Alright, so we are back. We're going to get into the actual race here. I'm hearing over the radio that some drivers did not get their preset in. So 50 laps of racing here at New Hampshire. 50 laps can be fairly taxing at this track. You got to drive the car the entire lap. There is no time for relaxation. You are 100% purely focused on hitting your marks and making it happen. And you got to do that lap after lap after lap. And if you don't get any cautions or breaks, it can be pretty taxing. So it's going to be interesting to see who's fast out of the gate, who has longer run setups, and who's somewhere a little bit in between. So we get into the race, and it looks like Cobalt is in the lead right away, as Eagle gets a little bit loose. So we got Rowdy in second, Eagle in third, Josh Larson in fourth, and further back in the field we have Duds battling for position with the 11 car of Ram. Side by side coming out of the corner. Duds going to get that side draft. Little love tap going down the straightaway. He's going to enter low. Not quite far enough ahead to slide up in front of him. They're going to keep battling it out. Although Duds gets run out of the corner, and he's clear. And that is up another position for Duds. Back up front, we got Cobalt still leading the field. Rowdy not far behind, as I think 9 just made a little bit of contact with the wall there. That is going to cost you a lot, especially later in the runs. The tires get more and more worn out. That wall is going to sneak up on you faster and faster each lap, and if you slap it, you're going to be losing many tenths every single lap, and it's deadly. Let's go on board for a lap with Cobalt and find out what he's doing to make that car so fast. So it looks like he's breaking right past the 2. He's running the middle line through the corner. And then he's exiting as low as he can, getting on that power and letting it drift up. It's an interesting line. It's a little bit unorthodox. That's not what a lot of the fast guys run, but it seems to be working out for him pretty well, as he does the same thing in 1 and 2. Same line followed, and it's working out for him. He is pulling away from second place. As you can see, that 9 car is getting smaller and smaller in the mirror. Alright, looks like we got a battle going on further back here. The 3 and the 18. As the 3 gets a run. And he is clear of that 18. Now, the 18 may well be having some issues with his car. I would expect him to be a little bit quicker here at New Hampshire. This is about one of the better tracks for him. And he may just be waiting to get that pit set up in. After this first stage is over, it'll be interesting to see where he falls in terms of pace. He's not giving up, though. He is lunging it into the corners, trying to make the overtake on that 3 car. Almost making contact every time. We're going to keep the camera on here. This is the closest battle on the track. He enters way high, dives it down low, tries to get to the inside. Looks like he might, but the 3 car gets to run out of the corner. Man, what a battle. To the inside again. He's going to try it one more time. This time 2 tires on the apron. That's going to cost him a little bit of speed because that's going to make the car real tight on exit. As he almost slaps the wall, and Ram does slap the wall behind him. And that's going to set the 3 thoroughly clear of the 18. The 18 is no longer within attacking distance. So I believe the 18 car may be one of the guys who I was hearing didn't get their preset in. And if he's on preset 1, that makes a lot of sense as to why his car is just not on pace. Preset 1 is not what you want to run here in the slightest. But it's the 1 car who definitely does have a preset, and that is stage 1 over. It's the 1 of Cobalt, followed by the 9 of Rowdy, followed by the 20 of Eagle. Eagle getting a podium position in the first stage. Good job there, Eagle. Racking up them stage points. But there is your stage winner, Cobalt. This is when everybody has to decide, what do I do? Do I make some tire pressure adjustments? Do I make some wedge adjustments? This is a track where it's very difficult to work on your car because it's so easy to go too far in either direction. It's real easy to make your car too loose where you're just sliding through the corners all the way up to the wall, and it's easy to make it too tight where you can't turn at all. There's a real fine middle ground that you got to find, and it is so specific how you have to set your car up at this track. But for this restart, we're going to go on board with the 18 car because he now has some pit adjustments, and he is going to be interesting to watch. Let's see if he got his car right. Green flag is in the air as the 1 car leads the field. 9 car getting a good start on the outside there. As the 20 makes a little bit of contact, 4 wide, almost. Eagle's going to lift a little bit there, give the position back to Cobalt. I think he felt like he kind of pushed him there. And around the outside of the 1 car goes the 18. As the 9 car gets up into the wall, that's going to slow him down a bit. And we've got a 3 car battle for the lead. Actually, a 4 car battle for the lead is brewing as Duds is gaining on him. The 9 and the 1 battling it out side by side for the lead here as the 18 looks to make it 3 wide. And all of this battling is allowing the 3 car of Duds to catch up. And here he is. He's now a factor. So This is definitely interesting as the 18 overdrives the corner just a little bit. 3 car is going to get underneath him up into P3. I tell you, Duds might have found the magic setup there with his car. He is on a roll, working his way up through the field. As the 1 car lunges to the outside of the 9, is going to be able to get the run out of the corner. A little bit of contact there. It's a drag race. 2 by 2, 2 rows deep. Coming into 3 and 4. Do these guys know it's the start of the stage? Do they know they got a lot of racing left? I'm not sure they do. Things file out. Single file. As we come out of the corner, but then there's the 1 car making another lunge on the outside. He is trying so hard to make that line work. And as the tires begin to wear, running that outside line is going to be a huge benefit to that 1 car, because while everybody running the inside, like the 18 and the 9, are going to have their tires drop off at a drastic rate, that 1 car is going to have about 10 to 15% fresher tires as he's running that high side. He's not quite sliding the car as much, but it's 3 wide for the lead as the 18 makes a crazy move with the help of the 3 car, giving him a bit of a shove there. What a battle. Eagle has now caught up to the fray in all of this chaos. So it is a 5-man battle for the lead. The 1 car still running that high side. Might not be working out right now, but like I said, later on in this run, that may be his saving grace as he falls single file into 2nd place, but making a lunge on the inside now. Trying something a little bit different. And it looks like he's going to get a healthy push from the 18 car. And he is getting a good run down the straightaway. He's clear of the 9. That is the 1 car back to P1. And he earned every inch of that. But they are not going to let him run away with it. They are still battling side by side behind him for 2nd place. And even making lunges for the lead. As now Eagle is up to Dud's bumper. And he is trying to make it happen. Trying to get to the inside there. Cost himself a little bit of speed there. Looks like the 18 made a bit of a bobble there, and that made him fall back a couple tenths. And here's the 3 car. The 18 car had a plan there. He had a plan to exit high and arc it down low, full throttle, get a run down the straightaway. But the 3 car said, hey, it's free real estate. And he dove it in there and unfortunately interrupted the 18 car's line. And that cost him almost a second of track time to the leader. Alright, let's get up to the leaders here. We still got a good battle brewing up front as those guys battle and fight out back. Meanwhile, up front we got these guys battling for the lead. There has been no breathing room for the leader the entire race. Stage 1, he had a little bit of a healthy lead, and he was able to kind of drive away from the pack, but once everybody got their setups in, got their cars figured out, no such luck. His Eagle makes a little bit of contact with the wall. Hearing over the radio that the 18 car wants to make a few more adjustments on pit road. So it seems like his car is decent, just not quite all there yet. So we'll see if those adjustments help him to get the car he needs to secure a win. But the 9 car, running that way high line, doesn't seem to help him much, doesn't get to run out of the corner. The car to beat all night long has been Cobalt. And I think saving his tires definitely helped him out there, but the stage is over. It is Cobalt, followed by Rowdy, followed by Josh Larson, followed by Duds. And Eagle back there in 5th, not too far behind. He's been having a good run tonight. Meanwhile, we got the 19 and the 11 pretty close together back there. we are going to go on board with the 18 car again. He should be an interesting car to watch on this restart. Green flag is out, and he's making a lunge already to the inside. 3 wide in turn 1. He's going to try it. Nope, has to check up. Although that's going to send the 1 car up into the 9. Cobalt's not going to be too happy about that. He kind of got shoved up into that 9. But didn't quite work out for the 18. He's going to cycle back to 3rd here, but he makes a move for 2nd. Cobalt getting a little bit loose there. Now, Cobalt's preferred line all night has been the high side, but unfortunately, you can't quite make that work as the 9 car makes a lunge on the bottom. You can't quite make that work when the cars on the bottom have draft help and when they're going to try to freight train by you. So, looks like contact between the 18 and the 9 as the 1 and the 9 are still side by side for the lead, and Eagle moving up into 4th here, making a challenge for it. Unfortunately, the Cobalt booted out of line. He's going to fall back to 3rd. Possibly fight for 2nd. Coming out of the corner. Getting that run. What a run back into 2nd. He's even clear of the 18 there. That was an impressive drive. But the 18 driving pretty aggressively. Taking away that preferred line. A little bit of contact there. Very aggressive driving. But that's what it takes here at New Hampshire. As Eagle now is trying to make a move on the 18. Oh! 18 got the 20 into the wall there, unfortunately. I don't think the aggressive driving is going to help Larson in the long run here. I don't think it's going to help him in the long run. I'll put that out there. Towards the front of the field here, we have Rowdy running away with it. And either Rowdy found the setup he needed, or Cobalt went the wrong way on his car. But either way, that 9 car is driving away with it. Rowdy is your Cup winner here at New Hampshire. He won the Cup race here. It was a good battle between me, Rowdy, and Cam. And we were battling it out bumper to bumper in the last 5 or 6 laps, and unfortunately I wore out my tires catching the leaders over the last stage, and by the time I got to the lead and took the lead with 5 to go, my tires were way worn, and way more worn than anybody else behind me, so I was getting real tight. Rowdy got around me on the bottom, and I fell back to 3rd, and he took the win. It was a good race, a lot of fun. But definitely not somebody to sleep on here at New Hampshire. But it does look like Cobalt is gaining. Let's go to the hood cam here on board. Cobalt running that Cobalt line. Entering high, exiting low, getting on that power. And it does seem to be helping him a little bit. He's gaining on that 9 car ever so slowly. I'd say about a 10th per lap. And it ain't much, but it'll add up. And once he gets to that bumper, we're going to see some side-to-side action once again, I do believe. Getting a good run out of that corner. Here comes Cobalt. He caught that progressive banking at just the right angle where he was able to gun it, get on the loud pedal, and the car wasn't going to drift up high. Sometimes you can do that here. And it's hard to do consistently, but he makes a lunge, has to get on the brakes. But he's there. He is now on the 9 car's bumper, and we got a battle for the lead brewing. Cobalt does not want another 2nd place finish. He's got enough of those this season. He wants another win. And after Indianapolis, he does not want to finish 2nd to that 9 car. So, if you guys remember the history these guys have, it was the 1 car in the lead coming to the line at Indianapolis, and the 9 car just misjudged his side draft a little bit, made a little bit of quarter panel contact, and put that 1 car in the wall as Cobalt is now into the lead. Back where he has spent the majority of the race. And I don't think there's going to be any stopping him, barring anything stupid happening. the car to beat all night long. Lurking in third, quite a ways back, is the 18. I don't think he's going to be able to run him down under green. I don't think he's got enough laps to do that. But if they get a caution, I would not count him out. Let's go on board now with the 9 car. See if he can figure out what that line is that the 1 car is running. See if he can imitate it and catch up. And it seems like he is. He's trying to follow Cobalt's car and run that line. That's a sign of a smart racer. Anytime you see somebody progressively learn and adapt to the cars around them, is when you know that's a fast driver. Because anybody can learn the fast line around the track and run it lap after lap. But it's the real pros that can adapt to anything, any situation, new lines, new situations, new racers around them. On that way high line, he's going to get a good run coming out of the corner, but will it be enough? As he slowly gains on Cobalt down the straightaway. Did get that run, but it's just not quite enough speed to get to that bumper. But he gets a great turns 1 and 2. Real quick, let's check further back in the pack as the 20 car is battling side by side with the 3. Quarter to quarter. Dud's making that high line work. Alright, green flag pit stops are going to be commencing soon. I just heard over the radio that the 18 car will be pitting. Alright, so let's go ahead and cut to that 18 car. Let's watch how he gets into the pits here. As he has lost even more ground too. The leaders just doesn't have the car. Does not have the car. So you're going to see that yellow line I was mentioning coming out of 3 and 4. And he's going to miss pit road. I hear over the radio that he missed it. That is a detriment. Real quick, let's check on the battle for the lead up here. Not much has changed. The gap has remained about the same. And that may be intentional on Cobalt's part. He may just be, now that he took the lead, he may have just backed off the pace a little bit, because he was definitely faster when he was behind the 9. But he might have just backed off a little bit, save those tires. Keep them fresh. But here comes the 18 to the pits this time around. No! Missed the pits for the 2nd lap in a row. Wow. Wow, missed the pits for the 2nd lap in a row. That is his day done right there. That is pretty much the final nail in the coffin for the 18's run. Alright, I hear the 3 car is going to be pitting, so let's see the 3 car's pit entrance. I'm not sure if the 3 car missed the pits. He didn't say anything over the radio. I'm not sure if he missed it or if he just was not intending to pit. But here's the 11 car. He's going to be coming in for 4 fresh Goodyears. And a splash of gas. Tire strategy might be pretty interesting here. Because, pit strategy might be pretty interesting here because there's not going to be much racing left after the green flag pit stops. It'll be very few laps remaining. So you're not going to have to take much gas, but you lose so much time on old tires here. I almost wonder if taking 2 might be beneficial. Alright, here comes the 18. The 9 car trying to hunt down that 1. See if he can get the New Hampshire sweep, win it in Cup and Xfinity. You can see how much he is following that 1 car, imitating his line, trying to use it against him. When you learn a driver's line, you don't just learn how to race as fast as them. You learn where the weaknesses are. You learn where the benefits are. And then you can kind of mold their line into a new line that you can use to just gain that little bit that you need. And I believe that's what Rowdy's doing right now. As he gets a great 1 and 2. Gains on the 1 car just a little bit. Let's check what's going on through the field here. We got the 20 car on his own. 3 car not far behind the 20 on his own. Here's the 19, a Snake. Haven't seen much of him this broadcast, but he's been running pretty consistent. And here we have Ram. 1 car into the wall. That's going to allow the 9 car to get to the inside. Ram, I think, played it smart, pitting early, getting tires, and making up that time. Because he's the only one that has pitted so far. As the 1 car takes the lead back, that's not really a surprise, but here's the thing. Ram has pitted, and nobody else has. He pitted about 7 or 8 laps ago. And you lose almost a second a lap on old tires here. So depending on when Cobalt decides to come in, the 11 car may actually cycle out into the lead, or at least close to it. So I think Ram honestly played it the smartest out of anybody so far. I think staying out has been a huge detriment to everybody, and Ram knew that. Played it smart. It is 4 laps to go. And while we were looking at Ram, it looks like the 1 car has lost the lead. Is he going to come into the pits? No. Somebody is about to run out of gas. As it is 3 to go in the race. I heard over the radio, somebody's spotter just told them they are hurting on fuel. Cobalt's tires just too worn. He stayed out too long. That is the 9 car driving into the sunset, ready to grab his New Hampshire sweep. Still not going to pit. I think the 1 car is going to attempt to make it as we come to the line for 2 to go. It's going to be fuel mileage, I think. Are both of these guys going to make it? Are either of them going to make it? Are neither of them going to make it? The 9 car is slowing up. Is he out of gas? We're coming to the white flag this time by the 9 car getting a good run out of the corner. White flag is out. The 9 car slowing down majorly again. This Cobalt looks deep to the inside. They are crawling through these corners. Those tires are beyond shot. And they're coming to the final corner of the race. And the 1 car sputters. He is out of gas. 3rd place nowhere in sight. But there goes the 9 car. Getting that New Hampshire sweep. Rowdy wins it again. That is 2 in a row here at New Hampshire for that 9 car. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, we are going to get the top 3 in here for interviews. I will be right back. Alright, we got the party going. Cobalt with our fast lap. Just unfortunate for him there. Alright, there's our third place finisher, Duds. Um, we're gonna do this backwards from how we normally do. We'll work our way up the finishing order. We'll start with Duds. Duds, you had a good car all night. It wasn't quite a winning car, but it was consistent. You were making moves out there. At one point, you were battling side by side for third place with Eagle, but then it looked like towards the end of the race, your car kind of fell off. Did you just have a short run car, or?
Not quite. The car just stage one. It was all over the place. It wasn't where we needed it to be. It was good, but it wasn't great. I know our teammate Josh was struggling with some adjustment issues at the beginning of the race, and he was dialing his in. But stage one, we had issues there, but we tweaked it in stage two. Kind of went with what we did in practice, and that seemed to work a lot better. I was running with the leaders. Wasn't quite able to make a run connect. Stage three, I wasn't falling off as much as I was just saving as much fuel as I could, because we worked on it in practice, and we figured we'd have just enough if we went full throttle that we would run out and sputter near the line, but we wanted a little more than that because we figured the rest of the guys wouldn't save as much, and it paid off. I feel for Cobalt, man, because he had a good hell of a good run all night, and he just wasn't able to make it work.
Yeah, he definitely had the car to beat for the majority of that race. Unfortunately, though, just drove a little too hard for too long, ran out of gas. Second place, Josh Larson. Halfway through that race, I did not expect you to finish second. It looked like you were struggling with the car all night long. I heard on the radio you wound up on preset 1, so that set you up for a rough race right out the get-go. But you did a good job making some adjustments. What'd you do?
Yeah, the car was trash all night. We just threw everything we could at it. Jacked that right side up as much as we can, dropped the front side as low as we could, and once we saw the race was going to stay green, basically we just played the fuel strategy and just hope the guys in front of us would run out.
Yeah, it worked out for you. Second place. That's not a bad day in points. I think you got a podium in stage 2, didn't you?
To be honest with you, I don't remember.
I think you did. So, good day in points there. Can't complain about that. Anytime you start a race on preset 1 and you still get second, that's a good day. Race winner, Rowdy, with the New Hampshire sweep. Won it in Cup, won it in Xfinity. This time around, it was more based on fuel mileage. Were you certain you were going to make it towards the end of that race, or were you just second guessing every lap?
Yeah, I was pretty much second guessing every lap. I had thoughts of pitting, but I saw the the fuel mileage wasn't really changing that much. I was letting off a little more than Cobalt was, so he was kind of my breaking point, and I was able to save just a smidge bit more than he did, because I think I ran out coming into 3 on the last lap. I started sputtering.
Yeah, and he ran out coming out of 2, and that was absolutely detrimental. But I tell you, you and Cobalt had a great race going. I was spectating you, and I was saying on the broadcast, I was like, it looks like the 9 car is really just following that 1 car, copying his line, and kind of using it against him. I did not know you were saving gas doing that, though. That was definitely an incredible play there, and it got you the win. So, impressive. Congratulations, man. Another good day in points. Texas was a little bit more rough for you, but you still got a couple decent stages in there and should be coming out net positive in points. So that's going to be the broadcast. Thank everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next week.